Hello and welcome to DCC Model Railway Signalling. In this video we're going to go through the interlocking of signals with other signals and also the interlocking of signals with occupied track sections on the route ahead. So if we bring up the application and we'll load the layout file from the end of video 3. So the first thing we need to consider is the interlocking of signals with other signals. And here you need to think about the conflicting moves that could potentially exist. So here, in this example, it makes no sense whatsoever to be able to clear signal 1 and signal 3 at the same time. So we need to interlock those two together. Similarly, if the points are switched, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to be able to clear signal 1 and signal 2 at the same time. So we need to interlock that as well. And to do that, is through the interlocking tab of the signals. So if we select signal 3 to start with, interlocking, and the section down here is the conflicting signals interlocking configuration. And so for the main route out from platform 2 to the rest of the world, we need to interlock with signal 1. And we only need to worry about the main route from signal 1 into platform 2, as the left-hand one divergent route, signal 3 is already locked by the fact that point 1 is switched. So that completes that configuration. Signal 2 is going to be a similar situation, but there are two routes from signal 2. The main route is from platform 1 to the rest of the world, and so that again needs to be interlocked with signal 1, but in this case it's going to be the left-hand divergent route from signal 1 into platform 1. The right-hand one route, which is back into the siding, we need to interlock with signal 4, and as there's only one route from signal 4 back into platform 1, it's just the main route, so we can apply that configuration. Signal 4 interlocking, and here we need to interlock with signal 2, and it is the right hand one divergent route from signal 2 back into the siding, so that will be the right hand one route. And finally signal 1. If we set the interlocking tab, signal 1 main route into platform 2, we need to interlock with signal 3 and the main route from signal 3, and into platform 1, that will be the left hand one route, we need to interlock with signal 2, and it will be again the main route from signal 2, as that is the route that goes back out to the rest of the world. So once we've applied that, we should be able to test it. If I just lock those points, if I select signal 1 now and clear that, signal 3 is locked. Set that back to danger. Now if I clear signal 3 and signal 1 is locked. So far so good. Set that back to danger. Now we'll just have a look at the subsidiary shunting movement. So if I clear the subsidiary for the shunting move back into the siding, signal 4 is locked, and if I select signal 4 for the shunting move back into platform 1, the subsidiary of section 2 is locked. So I'll now just change the points and we'll just check the interlocking of signal 1 with signal 2. Yep, if you clear signal 1, signal 2 is locked, and vice versa. So we're now fairly confident that our interlocking has been configured as far as between the signals is concerned. Now we need to focus on the track sections. The track sections, again, we need to consider what movements we don't want to allow if the track sections are occupied. So for example here, if track section 3 is occupied, we want to lock signal 1 to prevent that from being cleared. If the points were set the other way, similarly, if section 4 is cleared, we want to lock signal 1. And that is again configured through the signal configuration interlocking tab. So if we select signal 3 first, select the interlocking tab, one route out, interlocking with occupied track sections there, and that's track sections 2 and track sections 5. So 2 and 5, and we'll OK that. Signal 2, select the interlocking tab, and the main route, which is the route out to the rest of the world, again, that is going to be track section 2 and track section 5. As far as the right-hand one route is concerned, because the only possible movement from platform 1 to into the siding is controlled by the shunting signal, the subsidiary signal that's attached to signal 2, it's quite possible that you might want to signal a move even if that was already occupied. You know, for example, I don't know, coupling two DMUs together, or a light engine moving back to pick up some rolling stock. So we're going to leave that blank. We don't want to interlock with section 1 in this particular example. And it's the same for signal 4. So signal 4, interlocking with occupied track sections. No, we want to allow shunting movements back into platform 3, so we're just going to leave that as is. Signal 1, for the main route, it's going to be track section 4, and for the left-hand one route, is going to be track section 3. So if I just click on OK now, and I think we're just about there. So now we can test this, but to test this, we've got to test it in run mode, because track sections are only operable in run mode. And you can change it to run mode in two ways. You can either select it from the main menu bar and select run mode, and you'll see when we're in run mode, the grid lines have disappeared, and also you've lost your buttons for adding items to the schematic on the left hand side. You can also change modes via the Control M key. So if I just hit Control M now, it goes back into edit mode and back into run mode. As far as track sections are concerned, you can toggle them between occupied and unoccupied just by left clicking on them, and we do that to allow the user to effectively, set up its track occupancy as required. You can also right click on a track section, and you can put in whatever designator you like for a train. And when we get to talking about automation later on in the series, you'll see that how trains are passed from track section to track section when they pass signals. But we'll just set that up to be a DMU. Toggle that off. So according to the interlocking we've set up, signal 3 should be locked when either that is occupied and signal 3 is locked, which is good, or that track section is occupied, signal 3 is locked, is good. We'll just change the points and just check the interlocking with signal 2. So that track section has locked signal 2, and that track section has locked signal 2. That's good. We'll now look at going the other way. If I click on that track section to lock it, then signal 1 should be locked, which it is. That's good. And now we'll just change the points. And if I click on that track section, then signal 1 should be locked, and it is. That's good. Note that the track sections here have absolutely no interlocking sort of operation at all, and that's because it's a shunting signal there, which could be a possible mode, completely valid back into platform 1 if platform 1's already occupied, or the subsidiary signal shunting back into the siding. And that really completes our configuration. Now we have a fully interlocked signaling scheme. So the signals are interlocked with the points are interlocked with the signals are interlocked with any conflict in signals, and the signals are also interlocked with opposing track sections. And that really does conclude our video for today. In the next video, we'll now start talking about how to add train automation. So that will give us a sort of mimic track occupancy diagram on the screen, and the ability to sort of pass trains from one section to the next. But in the meantime, yeah, thanks for watching.